Campus. So let's take off right where we stopped. In the previous video, we talked about all of this, and now we are going to be talking about the image tag, the third type of tag that we have. Now, the image tag is a single tag. It is used to show pictures on the page. It is a single tag, and this is how it works. Just include the image tag, and this is how you write a single tag, and then go ahead and include some properties to specify the picture to be shown. So let's do this practically. Let's head over to VS Code. I'm just going to create a new HTML file to demonstrate image. Let's call that image.html. Don't forget, you have to put .html in your files. Let's copy this stuff to save us time, and then let's put the story of a fruitarian, or let's write something on Monodegree, something like Monodegree launches bootcamp, and then let's add a paragraph text. The ABCD bootcamp believes that anybody can dev. Alright then, so let's go ahead and include our image. Now pay attention to how I set this image tag, because it's very important. You see, when you want to set a reference, there's something called href. I'm just going to write this, it's not part of our code. Href, let me comment that out. To comment out something, select it and click Ctrl//. When I say // I mean something like this. So select it and hold down Ctrl and click / to comment it out. So there's something called href in HTML. You're going to encounter it as property of some tags in the future, but we're going to encounter it in this image tag. Href can point to multiple things. For example, an href can point to a file in your website, or it can point to another file in another website. By that, you're going to include a URL. So let me give you an example. Quick one, please. So let's say you are defining href for something, and let's say you are defining href for a file on your computer. You can just put the file maybe png, might be the file you are referencing. But let's say you are referencing a file on another person's website. You need to put something, or maybe you are referencing a file on TouchNote website. It will be something like touchnote.com/file.png. That way href knows that it must first visit touchnote.com before asking for a file called file.png. However, there's something you need to note. This file.png and touchnote.png, they are called paths. Let me show you what I mean by paths. Let's view the property of this picture. Now, you can view property on the picture also on your Windows file. You will notice that it has something called a folder. This is its path. First home, then Daniel, then desktop, then ABCD. This part is very important. If you don't reference the right part in HTML, your file will not be located. So let's do a little bit game. Alright, we want to show this picture, we want to show this campaign picture on our website. First of all, let's even go and open this website. Open containing folder, click on the image.html, then open with Firefox. Then that should load. Alright, we want to show that particular picture on our website. I want you to pay attention to this. We want to show this picture. However, this picture is in a folder called desktop/abcd. It's not in our folder. I mean, if you look at if you look at our own personal folder, look at it. So the picture is all the way here, right? But we want to bring it to our own folder. So let's copy it and go straight to our own folder. This is our own folder, and paste the picture there. So let's go back to VS Code and locate the file. Here it is. This is it, campaign.png. Exactly. Now let's define the image tag. img, just press, or you can just type img. Since it's a standard tag, it will recognize it. Now okay, I just want img. What is suggested for me is actually correct, but I want you to know it. not just like to just suggest it. In some situations, I might not suggest it to you, so I want you to know it. That's why I had to delete it. Now, in the image tag, there are references, like there are properties that we need to set. One of them is SRC, that means source. It's asking us that where is the source of this image? Is it on your website or is it on another person's website? If it's on your website, is it in the same folder where this image.html file is, or is it in a separate folder? And this alternate text is there for you to describe what the image is about. So let's say we are setting this campaign.png now. The best way to do this is, since campaign.png is in week 1, which is the same folder as which our HTML file is, you want to reference a file from your HTML file. This is your HTML file. You want to reference this campaign.png. Because campaign.png is in your file, you can just go ahead and type it here. You see, it has already suggested it for us, and voila, we have this. The alternate text is where you describe the image. Now, I want you to always put a description of your image. You need to describe your image. It is very important. People usually ignore this description, because if you don't describe your image, people with difficulty seeing won't know what that image is about. There's something called text to speech on Microsoft Edge, whereby their browser will read out everything on your page, or maybe Google wants to read out everything on your page. It won't be able to describe that image to a blind person, because if he wants to describe the image, he will check what the alternate text is, he will check what the description is and tell the image. So let's call it Monagree campaign poster, or let's call it Monagree ABCD campaign poster. Another interesting thing is that another important feature of this alternate text stuff is that when I go on Google and I search for Monagree ABCD campaign poster, it should show this picture for me. Why? See, when you search for something on Google, I'm sure you have searched for a picture on Google before, and then you go to the pictures panel and then you view a lot of pictures. How do you think Google is able to give you those pictures in the first place? Is because of this alternate text. If people don't include alternate text in their picture, Google won't be able to locate it. It can't see. Well, nowadays they can see because we have AI and everything. Alright, so Monagree ABCD campaign poster. We don't need to save. We have enabled autosave. Once again, this is where you enable autosave. So let's go ahead to our browser and let's refresh. Awesome. So we have our image well displayed for us. Alright then. Now, you guys have noticed something. Actually, we usually have this issue of having to go to our browser and click this refresh button every time we want to view a change on our website. While that is okay and what has been done traditionally, there is a package out there that lets you do it right from your VS Code. When I say package, remember when I was trying to describe what VS Code is to you guys, I explained to you. Sorry, I'm trying to connect to the network. I explained to you that this is the first panel, the search, the Git source control, the extension panel. Now, extensions are some additional helpful tools for your VS Code, for your Visual Studio Code IDE, to help you as a code. There are a lot of extensions out there. You can explore them, but be careful. Make sure you understand the extension before you download it. So we are going to download an extension right now called Live Preview. It is an extension, I think, by Microsoft. Live Preview. Yeah, this is it. So click on the live. Sorry, I want Live Preview, not Live Server. Live Preview. Yeah. Now it lets you host a local server in your workspace for you to preview your web pages on. I'll show you what this extension can do shortly. So let's go ahead and install it, right? The network is proving a little bit of an issue. I just hope that doesn't cause any problem. All right. Okay, while that is working, I've shown you that for you to get this picture, we were able to get this picture because this picture is in the same folder as our HTML file. What if it's in a different folder? Or what if it's far away? So let's go back to our HTML file Now I want to copy a picture here, another campaign poster. So this is home.png. Alright then, now you notice that this is our current folder and our campaign picture is in the same folder as our image.html. But what if I put it in a folder called pics, and then I put inside that folder this new home.png? If I come here, okay, alright, I think I have a serious network issue right now. Oh yeah, I think I understand why I have the network issue. Okay, so if I come here to my code, sorry. Alright then, we will go over the live preview stuff later on. Alright, let's just continue coding right now. So if I come here to my code and I try to change this campaign picture to something else, let's put it on top of it so it's visible. So I copied it actually. Then I want to set a home picture. That home, go to pics and you see home.png. I want to set home.png. If I tag home.png and I say something like Monagri campaign poster 2, right? Now we go back to our browser and we click refresh. You can see it's just showing the stuff. It's not actually showing the picture. Let me zoom out for you to see it. You can see it's not showing the picture that we want. It's not showing the picture that we want. It's not loading at all. To make you see it better, let me comment out this particular one so it will no longer be included in our code. Yeah. So let's go back to the browser and then refresh this. You see, it's not showing the picture. Why do you think it's not showing the picture? It's because it can't find the picture. Now, there's a tool in every browser that allows developers to inspect their code to see what is going on in the background. To access that tool on any browser you are, first hold down Control, then hold down Shift button, then click I. Don't forget Control Shift I, the letter I. So just click it. It will take a while and then it will load. Awesome. So in your Chrome browser, you probably see something a little bit different. Okay, for the sake of most of you that are using Chrome, let me go ahead to Chrome. So let's use Chrome for now. Let me close this. All right. So you can see this home stuff is not really I'm trying to reference. The reason why this campaign won't work is that campaign is in the same folder as our image.html. However, home is in a different what is this? Sorry. Okay. However, home is in a different folder, a pics folder. So let's go ahead to Chrome. That's why I don't open Chrome. Alright then. Alright, so you can see that it's not showing our picture. Like the picture is basically not found. Click Ctrl Shift I again to inspect the code. And look at this. Fail to load resource. Network error. File not found. So it's not actually network error, but if it's on the website, if you have deployed this website, then it's network error. But it's not really network error for now. Okay, let's go ahead and fix this. So it's telling us that the file home.png is not found. Why is it not found? Well, maybe because you are trying to reference home.png as if it's in the same folder as image.html. So that won't work. You see, it didn't use. If I try to type campaign, it suggests it. If I try to type home, it doesn't suggest it. But where is home? Home is in a folder called pics. So you need to first enter pics, then / home.png. Then go back to your stuff, and then voila, you have this. You can see it now. It's showing the picture just as we expect it. But what if I create a third scenario, right? Let's create a third scenario. Let's copy this 2.png. Let's rename it. Let's call it guy.png. Alright, so let's copy this and then take it to our folder. Now, instead of putting it in the same folder as our image.html or putting it in a folder that is inside the folder of our image.html, let's take it back, like way back, and put it inside this particular folder. Let's go to our VS Code. You will see that guy.png is not inside week 1. It's not inside the same folder as our image.html. So how do we access this guy.png? So to access files that are outside the folder of your HTML file, you need to start with a dot, then another dot, then slash. You see that now? You see that? Dot slash. Then you can now select the guy.png that is outside your file. So if I load this now, it shows the guy.png stuff. Now this picture is probably too big. To make it smaller and fit to the screen or all those kind of things, we're going to do that in CSS when we get to CSS. But my job this week is to just teach you HTML, and that's it. So let's go back. Cool. Alright then. Yeah. Great. So that's the image tag for you. Include the source and include the alternate text. I'm going to close this browser. I don't really fancy the Chrome browser. So let's go back to the document. Okay. So we have done the image tag. Now before you go, we spoke about properties in tags. And we spoke about properties in tag in the previous chapter. Like I said, properties are name, body pair, blah blah blah. Okay. However, I want us to explore some very special properties. Now, these properties are used to uniquely identify a tag. And remember, properties are the things you write inside the opening tag. Now, there are some properties that are uniquely identified, that are used to uniquely identify a tag. Like, what I mean by that is, they are like, this example one, they are like, how many tags there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have like 8 tags here. Now, what if we want to identify one tag and reference it from another file, or from a JavaScript file, or from a CSS file? We need some properties called identifiers. Now, we have different kind of identifier properties. The first one is ID. You can give a tag an ID. If you give a tag an ID, it defines a unique ID for that tag. For example, if you say H1 ID, my first heading. So let's go ahead and do this. Go to this H1 and say, okay, ID is my first heading. So we have created a tag for this, and then you go back to your file. Now, this way we can identify this tag anywhere as my first heading. So even if we are in a CSS file, we can identify this tag as my first heading. Another thing we can use to identify tags is class. So classes work like IDs, but developers usually prefer them. However, ID and class are not the same thing. For example, if I put an ID, my first heading, and I put a class, so excited, I can identify this H1 tag, this heading, anywhere using an ID called my first heading or a class called so excited. So they work the same way. They don't block each other. They don't go against each other, and they are not the same thing. IDs and class will become very important when we start CSS next week and JavaScript in the next 2 weeks. So guys, this is the end of this one. Thank you very much, Daniel.